Joining us for more from New York on HP's decision is Brian White of Ticonderoga Securities. Brian, welcome to Bloomberg West. Got to ask you, first of all, what's your reaction to this decision, HP keeping its PC business after all?
Hi, Emily. When we initiated coverage on HP, one of our thesis was that we felt that they should divest of this business, very similar to what IBM had done in 2005, and really focus on the enterprise market and move more into the cloud computing arena. And so, I view this announcement as a negative, and I think it's positive they made a decision, and I think they were forced to make a decision. But I don't think it's the right decision. Reason being, this is a very, very competitive market. So if you look at HP, of all their different businesses, this is the lowest margin business of all the HP businesses. If you look at the growth rate, fiscal 08 to fiscal 11, it's going to be down 2% per year during that 3-year time frame, and operating profits are down about 1%. I think when you look at virtual desktop and you look at what's happening from the cannibalization of tablets, I don't know why any company other than Apple would want to be in this market.
Talking about tablets, Brian, HP killed the touchpad. Do you think now there's a chance they would get back into that market, if indeed that's where the market is going?
Well, I think they still have ambitions in the tablet market. I think they're going to have a Windows-based tablet. WebOS is still up in the air, what they're going to exactly do with that. But it sounds like they are going to be developing a Windows tablet. Again, I think when you look at the tablet market, there's going to be two big winners. It's going to be Apple at the mid to high end. We've highlighted, we do think a lower-end tablet is on the way, iPad, sometime in 2012. At the very low end is going to be Amazon. I just don't think there's room for players in between.
How much do you think the back and forth here, HP first saying they were going to spin it off, then now changing their minds, how much do you think that's going to hurt the brand overall? You think there's still customers out there who are going to say, I want an HP computer, even if I don't know for sure whether HP is even going to stay in this business?
I don't know if it necessarily will hurt the brand. Obviously, competitors will try to spin that. So I think, they were stuck in a box here because they had indicated they were going to analyze the situation, make a decision over the next year. And that creates a great deal of uncertainty that could really damage the brand and financially damage the PC business. I think there was no near-term solution. They were forced to make a decision. They made the decision to keep the PC business for now.
And Brian, our Bloomberg News reporter, Erin Riccadella, just got off the phone with HP CEO Meg Whitman. She talked about tablets. She says HP does plan to continue to stay in the tablet market and that they don't think it's too late to catch up to Apple. What do you think? Do you think it's too late for HP to catch up in tablets?
I think what we're seeing already in the tablet market is a lot of major companies out there are stumbling. They're seeing a disappointment here in the second half of the year. I just went to China. There's a big inventory build of Android tablets, and they're simply not selling. I think Apple has obviously a first mover advantage, 75% of the market share. Again, I'll point to Amazon coming in here at the low end. I think anyone in between is going to be squeezed. Remember, the touchpad was out on the market for a few weeks and the sales were horrendous. They had to cut the price to $99 just to get anyone to buy it. I think the tablet market is a mistake. It's too late for them. I think what they should really do is focus on the cloud computing initiatives in the enterprise market and not be in the PC market or the tablet market.
Now, Brian, we're hearing that Meg Whitman and Executive Chairman Ray Lane are actually working more like co-CEOs rather than chairman and CEO. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I think, when you look at Meg Whitman, did a phenomenal job at eBay. I have tremendous respect for her. Hasn't been in the hardware industry. Obviously, Ray Lane has. And I think that's going to be a great partnership. When that was announced, Meg would take over as CEO. We applauded it. We think it's a good decision. I think she'll do a good job with the company. So I think it's going to be a good partnership that we can watch over the years.
All right, I want to bring back in our senior West Coast correspondent, Jon Erlichman. Now, Jon was gathering some information about how this partnership exactly is working. Jon, what kind of a leader is Meg Whitman? Is she the kind of person who likes to share power?
Well, in this case, it's such a tricky position, just given the mess that she has essentially inherited. But the reason she got this job is because She's got a high profile, and she does know what she wants. The communicator is what we've heard time and time again with Meg Whitman, and that's what is needed. Remember, Leo Apotheker took some big hits because he wasn't communicating to everybody at Hewlett-Packard. There were many at a senior level that didn't know about some of these big decisions that were just made back in August until right at the end. That is frustrating. It breeds mistrust. Obviously, Meg Whitman was on the board and is sensitive to those issues, and she's working on that. And don't forget what Meg Whitman said today was, up until the fourth quarter, don't expect any huge announcements from us. Yeah, we're working on some big stuff for 2012, but it's a message that, look, we're going to keep it simple. Remember, under Mark Hurd, it was all about bottom line performance. It's kind of a hint that that's what you're going to get from HP, and for a lot of investors, that's what they'd like to see.
Now, Brian, you think keeping the PC business is the wrong decision, but now that Meg Whitman has said, we are sticking with this, we are committed to this, where does this leave HP?
Well, I think it leaves them with a business that's in a secular decline, that's very price sensitive, and you're increasingly getting players out of Asia becoming larger in this market. I mean, Lenovo gained significant market share sequentially in the September quarter, surpassing Dell. Acer's obviously a big player. Dell's a big player. I just think it's a very competitive market. So, maybe it's something they stick out for a few years. I think ultimately they're going to come to the decision it's the wrong business to be in, very similar to what IBM did in 2005. That decision marked a huge turnaround in IBM, and you see where the company is today. I think IBM or HP will do the same. It'll just take a little while.
Okay, but given that HP didn't make the decision that IBM made, what is Meg's next step? What does she need to do to make this work if it is going to work?
Well, I think what they're going to try to do is expand in some of these newer markets. So, one market in the PC area is Ultrabook. Ultrabook is a big push by Intel where, you're going to come out with a solution, a PC notebook solution that's very similar to somewhat like the MacBook Air. It'll have SSD, it'll have thinner displays, polymer batteries, be a lot lighter. That's going to be the trend in the notebook market over the next few years. So I think they're going to have an aggressive push into Ultrabook market. They are going to have, a tablet push. And I don't think they're going to succeed, but they're going to try. So, again, I think they're going to try to make the best of a bad business. I just don't think it's going to be a successful endeavor.
All right, Brian White of Ticonderoga Securities and our Jon Erlichman. Thanks, guys, for all of that great insight there on HP's decision today.